Dalek Saucer commanders are specially selected Dalek pilots who are given authority to command a Dalek warship, comparable to the role of captain. Though not as highly ranked as a Supreme Dalek, Dalek Saucer commanders are considerably higher ranked than regular drones, and each one has the entire crew of its assigned Dalek Saucer under its command, suggesting that they are a step up from the more commonly seen battlefield Dalek ranks, such as Squadron Leader. Indeed, in many early Dalek campaigns, the de facto role of second in command to a Supreme Dalek would often be taken by whichever Saucer commander controlled the most powerful ship in the fleet, as was the case during the Dalek invasion of Earth. Saucer commanders are useful tacticians, as they are specially optimised for warfare and logistics, and some even feature special modifications that allow them to interface directly with a ship's computer system. Usually, Saucer commanders sport a black dome and alternating black panels on the skirt, though sometimes red Daleks take on the role of Saucer commanders just as they do section leaders. The role of Saucer commander is derived from the broader role of Dalek pilot. Indeed, both roles appear to use the same black dome and panels to identify them, though quite why this is considered necessary by the Daleks is anyone's guess. While Saucer commanders are usually only seen in very specific roles, with a singular unit being responsible for an entire warship, Dalek pilots undertake a range of responsibilities in the Dalek fleet and can often be seen working in groups, either on the bridge of a Dalek ship or when piloting smaller Dalek fighters or gunships, such as the Dalek attack pod, some variants of which required at least 3 Daleks to operate, with some pilots taking on the role of gunners. Dalek pilots can also work alone, in which case they are often seen operating hoverbouts whose weapons can link directly to the pilot's interior battle computer. Pilot Dalek casings are specially modified for their specific role, with greater reinforcement against excess heat and space fatigue, and they rarely if ever leave their designated station, allowing Dalek Saucers to scramble smaller attack craft extremely quickly. Before the outbreak of the last Great Time War, Dalek pilots were rarely seen by non-Daleks, as standard Dalek drones are programmed with the ability to operate hoverbouts and other Dalek light vehicles, so Dalek pilots had historically been reserved for more specialist vehicles, such as prototype war machines or experiments in time travel craft. However, following the outbreak of the Time War and the compartmentalisation of the Dalek military that followed, Dalek pilots became more commonly seen as time travel became a common feature of all Dalek spaceships during the war, and heavy attack vehicles like the fighter pods were deployed en masse. Due to this vast expansion of the Dalek Navy, it became more common for standard Dalek ships to be crewed by bronze Daleks, with the role of Saucer commander being made redundant as the Daleks no longer required their ships to have the equivalent of a captain, as it became more common for fleets to be commanded from a higher, more centralised Dalek rank, the equivalent to the role of Admiral, the Dalek fleet commanders, and so the role of Saucer commander was gradually phased out. Indeed, by the end of the war it was not uncommon for Dalek ships to be crewed entirely by bronze Daleks, with pilots used almost exclusively for fighter craft that require greater processing power for manoeuvrability and tactics. This practice continued into the post-Time War era, as once the new Dalek paradigm returned the Dalek Empire to its former glory, Dalek pilots and Saucer commanders appear to have been entirely subsumed by the broader roles of drone and commander, with red paradigm Daleks or bronze Daleks often filling the roles of fighter pilots or warship captains. Out of universe, the Saucer commander Dalek has an interesting backstory. It was never actually intended to be a Saucer commander at all. The name was retroactively given to this Dalek by fans, to differentiate it from the Supreme Dalek. The original idea was that there would be one Dalek leader in the Dalek invasion of Earth, the Supreme. The script for this story identifies the Dalek leader as being different to the others, mentioning that it has a different paint job. But in the earlier drafts of the story, this leader Dalek doesn't appear until part 5. Later drafts of the script changed this, bringing the debut of the Supreme Dalek forward to part 2, in which it was to be leading Dalek operations on their saucer. Usually, Dalek props would be designed and finalised well in advance, but during rehearsals it became clear that the leader Dalek would need to be identified by a unique colour scheme, and so one of the props was hastily repainted. However, the paint job on the prop appears to have not been finished in time, hence its somewhat mismatched appearance, essentially meaning that the variant of Dalek that fans would later dub the Saucer Commander was created entirely by accident. From a production perspective, it was meant to just be the Supreme. So the fact that the Saucer Commander looks as good as it does is a testament to the creativity and on-the-fly ingenuity of the team working on Doctor Who at the time. But when you look at the Saucer Commander prop with the context of how it came to be, it's obvious that it's a standard drone prop that's partway through the process of being repainted into a Supreme. Whether the design was a conscious choice by the team or whether they simply ran out of time is not clear. However, as it stands, the prop's appearance actually contributes to the lore of this Dalek, as in the relatively sparse 60s era Dalek hierarchy, the Saucer Commander is in theory a midway point between Supreme Dalek and Drone, which is reflected in its unusual but distinctive design. Unfortunately, due to the fact that the Saucer Commander was repainted into the Supreme, as the production team always intended for the prop to be the Supreme, we never actually see the Supreme and Saucer Commander share a scene together. Indeed, the episode itself gives no indication that they are distinct Daleks at all. The Saucer Commander simply disappears, and subsequent Dalek stories seem to have dropped the role of Saucer Commander altogether, giving command of Dalek Saucers to standard leaders, without the need for a specific rank dedicated to that purpose. But who knows, maybe we'll see a Saucer Commander Dalek show up in a future Dalek story, acting as a second-in-command to the Supreme. What do you think of the Dalek Saucer Commander and Dalek Pilot ranks? How would you implement this role if you were writing a Doctor Who story? And do you think we'll ever see the distinctive alternating black and silver or black and bronze skirt panels return in the future? Let me know in the comments below.
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to
Dalek Bumps.